What if the greatest obstacle to your financial freedom isn't a lack of opportunity or a lack of knowledge, but an invisible force that actively pulls you back to where you started? A kind of gravity, tethering you to a specific financial baseline, no matter how hard you try to fly. We've all heard the stories. The lottery winner who is bankrupt in 5 years, the executive who gets a huge raise but feels just as broke 6 months later. These aren't just anecdotes of poor money management. They are evidence of a powerful, unseen law at work. This law suggests that our external reality is a mirror of our internal identity. It's a complex idea, often boiled down to simple cliches, but the truth is far more nuanced. In this video, we are going to deconstruct this invisible force, which we'll call financial gravity. We'll explore the psychology behind why more money often fails to solve our money problems. We'll examine what psychologists sometimes call a set point, which is like a psychological thermostat that subconsciously regulates how much success and wealth we feel we deserve. By understanding this force, its origins, its mechanics, and its deceptive power, we can finally begin to answer the most important question. How do you build the rocket ship required to escape it? Most people believe in the myth of the one big break. The idea that a single event, a promotion, a successful startup, a lucky inheritance, will be the defining moment that catapults them into a new financial reality forever. It's the story we're sold in movies and media. You get a 15% raise and you imagine the life you'll now lead, the debt paid off, the savings account growing, the vacations you'll finally take. You can taste the freedom. The initial feeling is euphoric. It's a tangible validation of your hard work. You finally started to pull away from the surface. But then, 6 months later, you look at your bank account and a strange feeling creeps in. The numbers are higher, yes, but the feeling of struggle, the month-to-month pressure, is oddly familiar. The raise has been absorbed. It has been consumed by what we call lifestyle creep. The slightly more expensive car payment, the upgraded streaming subscriptions, the more frequent dinners out. You're in the same orbit, just a little higher up. The gravitational pull is still there, just as strong as ever. And this is where the first crack in the myth appears. If more money was the solution, why does the problem feel exactly the same? This isn't just about spending habits. This is a clue that the money itself was never the target. The real battle was happening somewhere else entirely. To understand what's really going on, we need to look past the bank statements and into the human mind, specifically at a concept known as set point theory. Originally used in biology to describe how our bodies maintain a stable weight, this theory has powerful implications for our finances. It suggests that our subconscious mind has a financial set point, a level of wealth and success that it considers normal, safe, and part of our identity. If we stray too far below this point, our mind will kick into gear, motivating us to work harder, find new opportunities, and get back to our baseline. But crucially, the same thing happens if we stray too far above it. A sudden influx of wealth can trigger a subconscious alarm. This new reality feels foreign, undeserved, and dangerous. So our mind begins to correct the problem. Let's re-examine that 15% raise through this new lens. The lifestyle creep, the new expenses, they weren't just innocent indulgences. They were subconscious acts of self-sabotage designed to burn off the excess income and bring your financial reality back down to the temperature your internal thermostat was set to. It's a mechanism to restore equilibrium, to return you to the identity you know. What feels like progress on the outside is interpreted as a system error on the inside. So you see, the struggle isn't about earning more money. It's a fight against your own self-perception. Your financial reality is desperately trying to match the blueprint of your financial identity. If a small raise creates a minor course correction, then a massive, life-altering windfall like a lottery win is a catastrophic system failure. This is the most extreme expression of financial gravity in action. Statistics show that roughly 70% of lottery winners end up broke within a few years. They are pulled back to earth with such force that they often end up in a worse position than where they started. For them, The money wasn't a blessing. It was a foreign object that their psychological immune system had to violently reject. Their identity was that of a working-class person, a struggler, someone for whom money was scarce. The tens of millions of dollars in their bank account created an unbearable psychological dissonance, a gap between who they were and what they had. Their subsequent bad investments, reckless spending, and generosity to a fault were not just poor decisions. They were the desperate subconscious tools used to close that gap and return to the safety of a familiar identity. This proves that simply acquiring money is like trying to defy gravity by jumping. You might get some air, but you will inevitably come back down. So if the jackpot isn't the key, what is? If the big break is a myth, then what is the truth? To answer that, we have to stop looking at the symptoms, the spending, the saving, and start looking at the source of the gravity itself. Our own deep-seated beliefs about wealth, worth, and identity. This gravitational pull isn't inherently malicious. It's a form of self-preservation. Your current financial state, even if it's one of struggle, is known. It's familiar. You have coping mechanisms for it. You understand its rules. A life of immense wealth, on the other hand, is a terrifying unknown. It threatens your relationships, your sense of self, and your place in your community. Your subconscious mind would rather keep you in a familiar struggle than thrust you into an unfamiliar, and therefore dangerous, success. Think of the tragic stories of child actors. They are given immense fame and fortune long before they've developed the internal identity and emotional systems to manage it. The external reality vastly outpaces the internal framework, and the result is often a catastrophic collapse. The force that pulls them back down isn't a flaw in their character. It's a psychological law as predictable as gravity itself. But I know what you might be thinking. What about the counter-example? What about the disciplined entrepreneur who starts with nothing, saves diligently, invests wisely, and builds a fortune over a lifetime? They seem to defy this law entirely. Their story appears to refute everything we've discussed. But it's here that we find the most important secret. They didn't defy financial gravity. They simply understood the physics of escaping it. They didn't experience a sudden windfall. Instead, they spent years, even decades, slowly and deliberately recalibrating their financial set point. Every dollar they saved, every small business success, every investment that paid off, was a small, controlled burn of a rocket engine. It gently pushed their comfort level, their identity, higher and higher. They weren't just accumulating money. They were accumulating a new self-perception in parallel. They raised their internal thermostat 1 degree at a time, so that when they finally reached a high level of wealth, it didn't feel like a foreign invasion. It felt earned. It felt normal. It was their new identity. Their success isn't the exception to the rule. It is the perfect illustration of it. Their greatest achievement was not building a business. It was rewriting the core code of their own mind. Even their greatest acts of discipline were in service of this internal renovation. So let's assemble the full picture. The disappearing raise, the bankrupt lottery winner, the slow and steady millionaire. These are not separate phenomena. They are all points on the same map, illustrating the invisible, powerful law of financial gravity. They show us that our financial life is not a straight line up, but a constant battle between our current reality and our internal identity. The final breaking point, then, isn't an external event like a promotion or an investment. It is the internal moment of realization, the moment you decide to stop trying to just jump higher and start designing the rocket that will carry you away for good. Now that we understand the machine that governs our financial destiny, we can finally ask the ultimate question. What, precisely, are the mechanics of escape velocity? What is the blueprint for the rocket? The answer changes everything.